it's a start of a whole new month with Life Monthly. I just can't believe we're starting month 2 already. I wonder where I'll be by the time I'm recording the ending for this month. Like, I did really good, like, in the last month. Like, I went from 136 to 132, and I wonder what I'll weigh by the end of it. I mean, I've been making so much progress in general, guys. Some good and some, well, not some. I'm making some progress and I'm having downfalls as well. And it's just a matter of, learning from it all. I didn't want to bore you guys with this long intro. I'll tell more of my thoughts at the end of this video. But, because I pretty much said almost all I wanted to say at the end of last video. I just wanted to recap, like, I've been having some problems with the collab. I've been losing some weight, which was great. So, let's hope there's even more progress by the end of this.
Well, today was a pretty awful day. I mean, it started off okay. Like, I managed to go for a walk and do the sweeping, and even the walk wasn't as far as I usually go. I couldn't even celebrate the Endman's birthday with him because I got so bad that I even almost got scared. This was the first time in a while that I almost got scared, that I almost thought of asking to go to the outpatients. It turned out better than I thought it was in the end, I'll admit it. But that didn't even get better until about 9 o'clock. But I said, you know what, if I was in the outpatients, I wouldn't be a priority. Like, I'm better off just staying, where I'm at and eventually recovering than waiting there and feeling worse with the anxiety built up being in a public place with the issue. But for at least a millisecond, I was like, oh God, do I have to actually go to the outpatients for this? Like, I know this isn't like an anaphylactic shock emergency or a being stabbed emergency, but it was pretty bad, and I don't think there's a clinic open that late, at about 5, 6 o'clock. But if anything positive happened, I got a couple new sweaters. One is a Slytherin sweater, and I'll try to show you a picture of it. And the other is a Peanuts Christmas sweater, which is big for me, but I just absolutely love it. I love both of it, and you'll see them somewhere there. And I got my new monthly series edited and scheduled for next Friday, because there's videos in between it. It'll already be out when you see, this. It's been out for a long time when you see this, but the day I'm recording it, I had gotten it done when I was in a better place. Like, after 12 o'clock was when it went downhill for me. So let's just hope tomorrow is a much better day. Well, today was actually a pretty good day. I managed to walk to the bridge. I did the sweeping. I actually also played a little bit of The Sims 4 after a long time. I was just kind of enjoying that game with a bit of a Java monster energy, just to do the things that I love to do. Kind of like a little bit of a me day, modest, the sweeping and the walks. My aunt actually also got me a new pair of winter boots, which are so cool. You'll see a picture of it somewhere, but they're supposed to be similar to my old ones in that style with the grip, and they're kind of navy-ish, like blackish, bluish, navy-ish. I mean, you could tell me what it is, but I'm not 100% certain. But at least today was a better day than yesterday. Well, today was not the greatest day. My IBS was flaring up a little bit, but I did lose 2 pounds. I am now 130. I did go for a walk and did the sweeping, but besides that, I didn't do much besides watching YouTube and that. I watched still watching Simply Colin's, Drizzly Tales of Gruesome Kids, ranking video. So, well, hopefully tomorrow will be a better day. Well, guys, today was kind of a mixed day. I had a bath, which was good, and I went for a walk. But there is something I am going to bring up that I hadn't brought up before because of, there was family I thought shouldn't have known, right? But my aunt said it was all right that I brought up. Yesterday, I tried a vape with THC, and I've actually had THC before through that means, but it was like about a year since I've had it. But this time, I guess I had indica. And yeah, that did not go well. And I know I could probably try the sativa one because that's the ones I've had before. But I think, guys, before I hadn't really inhaled it. I've been using it for my anxiety, right? For a long time. Nothing as I was never addicted to it, guys. But it did help for a while with my anxiety. And I had some scares with one of them, with it leaking. I went into a real high, I believe. And I thought, well, I was anxious about what was going to happen with the collab. So I said, well, maybe I could try because she said it's supposed to calm you down, right? Well, it did. I was just a zombie. And I'm like, this is not going to work. Because, yes, my ever-racing thoughts were not there. But not mighty thoughts at all were there. I didn't feel better till like about 7 or something today. Like I slept through it. I guess you could argue, well, Jazz, if you take it like maybe 4 hours before the collab or something, or 6 hours before the collab, you could sleep almost up till that point with the alarm. Yes, I know that is a possibility, but I just don't want to risk anything going wrong Wednesday. So I'm just going to have to try to learn to suck it up, take my buscapine at the right time when it's not going to cause issues, and deal with it. Because really, the vapes that are there now, like it's too big of a hole, and I inhale too much, so I just have to kind of learn to deal with my anxiety other ways. So honestly, guys, that was the biggest thing today, was that I spent at least 4 hours of it in a THC induced sleep. But it was an experience. They say that you know your body the best, right? And I just said, okay, yes, it would be perfect except for the zombie, like the too relaxed, like say state. Like, I'll admit it wasn't as bad as that scary induced, high that I had. But I literally could do anything with the computer, which I need to do that for the collab. I had to just lay down. That was the most that I could functionally do. So, yeah, I learned my lesson. Let's just hope I can find other ways around my overwhelming anticipation anxiety. Now, today was a iffy day. I didn't do very much, but I did do the sweeping today, but no walks. I wasn't feeling the greatest with my allergies and my IBS, but that actually was a little bit better than usual. it was the allergies that was the worst thing. But I also did manage, I'm trying to make a list for tomorrow, for I could get myself through the day, because as I said yesterday, that vape is not going to work, at least as of now. Like, if I'm going to try it at all again, I'm going to try it when there's my aunt is there, and she was today, but then there's completely time to deal with it. But right now, I just want to try my best to handle it on my own. I mean, I have done it before. I keep telling myself that. I just let my anxiety get a little bit too bad. And that I have to learn to deal with anticipation. Because even though the collab is almost over, there's going to be other things, right, that I have to be used to waiting for, in a way. So, yeah, the day wasn't so filled with me doing a lot of things, but at least I am slowly learning what is helping. Like, I found the Buscopan did kind of help a bit today. So I just have to learn to not be afraid to take it, even if it isn't. Like, usually I would take it at its worst, like when I was at my worst, but I have to learn to take it maybe not before something happens, but after it starts, right? Because if it gets worse, it would only get worse for a little bit. I have to tell myself that. Well, today wasn't a good day at all. I had to cancel on the collab again because my IBS acted up really bad. But I did start trying to take the sativa vape, and it sort of helps a little bit on and off. I just have to practice the rest of this week on to next week to learn how to take it properly. But I did enjoy a meal that my aunt made. It was pork and little potato spuds. Like, she worked hard on it, so I tried my best to enjoy it. And she did also get me a new Stitch shirt from Lilo and Stitch. It says Merry Stitchmas, which is really cute as well. I played a tiny bit of Legends ZA, but didn't do very much again. Wasn't feeling good. And I swept. But the only other most productive thing I did today was I actually read about 23 pages of The Horror of Camp Jelly Jam. Now I'm on page 79. So I'm making slow but sure progress on that book with 3 days full worth of reading. So let's just hope that with me continuing to use the vape, that tomorrow will be a better day. Well, today was mixed. Like, with my IBS symptoms, not as bad, really. Last night, I'll admit, later, I had a pretty bad flare-up. But today was just kind of... But we'll just say I had a really bad anxiety spike tonight, and I'm going to do a journal to sort of try to help me through that a little bit. And I talked to the AI, and that helped me realize that I'm not failing. I'm struggling. It's something that isn't really my fault, despite there's things I'll admit that I feel really bad about, right? But I care too much, is what it said. I have to kind of just try to slow my brain down just a little bit. And I am still on and off taking the vape. I am coming to the conclusion that I probably shouldn't take it as often as I have been. Take it when I need it, right? For I won't become immune by Wednesday. So that's where I am with that. I'm trying to be very selective about it and just take the other medication I need as I go on and handle my anxiety the best I can. I did play quite a bit of The Sims 4, though, and that was a moment that I felt just completely relaxed for the most part and at ease. And I did manage to do the sweeping and go for a walk today, which was awesome too. So I just got to think of the wins rather than, that I'm failing. I may not be handling my anxiety as well as I should, but someday it'll get better. Well, today was surprisingly a pretty good day overall. I didn't need to use as many medication or the vape as much. I had to use it once, but I had a weird dream, actually, and it might be a little morbid. Please know this has nothing to do with my personality. I had a weird dream that I killed someone, and then I was in some type of building. I got out and started running in the blizzarding snow. Suddenly there were sirens. Then I woke up kicking my feet as if I was running. I don't know how. It's such a vivid dream for the most part, and I don't know why I had the dream. And the fact that my legs were kicking, that's what I thought was hilarious. It's like I was running, like I was reacting to the dream. And it's just kind of weird. It's one of those kind of scary dreams in a way. The fact that I murdered someone was more scary than anything. But I guess they say sometimes you can move when you're dreaming, and even when you wake up, you're sort of reacting to it. But I've never had such a vivid dream that I remember past waking up, if you know what I mean. But anyway, besides that, today I went to walk to the bench instead of the bridge. I couldn't make it all the way. I did the sweeping, and I played a little bit of The Sims 4. Today wasn't a really fulfilling day, but I got through it relatively calmly. Right now, that's what I'm working on right now, is just to get through the day as best as I can, and then slowly add other activities back to it as I'm starting to feel more confident with managing my anxiety. And today was, again, pretty good in that way. A lot better than last night when I was awake with terrible anxiety. But that's another story. Well, today was a pretty good day. I don't think I even had to take much medication today, or a puff for that matter. I went for a walk a little later because it was really, really chilly out, but I did manage to go for a walk. I did the sweeping. I also was editing a bit of the first week of the second month of Life Monthly, which is what this is. And I'm almost done of that week, actually, which is pretty good for me. Speaking of YouTube, I did forget to mention this because I wanted to also make sure how permanent this was, but I've gained 2 subscribers in the last week or 2. I'm now 268, so thank you for the 2 of you who have subscribed. I also played some of The Sims 4. I played during Winterfest, which was pretty cool. I can insert a picture of me decorating the tree for it in the game. And my aunt got me this cool wand that lights up and makes sounds. I know I feel kind of bad for the dog because I got excited and played around, and he treated it like enemy number 1 and me like enemy number 1 for a while. I went upstairs because every time he looked at me, he'd be barking. So I didn't want to push that anymore, but it was a really, really cool wand. It is. I just put it over there in my room. So the fact that I didn't need to take much medication at all today was a really good day, but every day is a different day, so I just have to take it one day, 1 minute at a time. Well, today didn't start off as the greatest day. I woke up and had a pretty bad flare-up, but I did get on the scale beforehand and I lost 2 pounds. I'm now 128, so that's awesome. But back to the flare-up, it was so bad that I had to take a gravel, 2 Tylenol, and a puff of the sativa vape. And it knocked me out until about 3 p.m. But on the plus note, after I woke up, I felt pretty good for the rest of the day. I finished editing the first week of the second Life Monthly. I actually played some Persona 4 Golden, which for me, I hadn't did it over a month since I got Legend CA, or since that challenge we did. So I'm now on the August 14th. There wasn't very much story going on because we just had to wait, because I ended up beating the guy early. You know, the one who killed Maroka. So I had to wait for quite a while, and they finally arrested him. So eventually we'll go on to more actual story, right, in the game the next time that I pick it up and play. But most of it was just friend, working with the social links in a way. So I still think I made some good progress, because I started on like the 30th, 31st, of July. So about a couple of game weeks in. And for me, that is pretty good. So, and I did the sweeping. So there wasn't very much else of note that I could think of that happened today. I mean, obviously I got paid for my sweeping, which was a good $26 for the last 2 weeks. That was amazing too. And I reached the money goal of 75. I mean, I got 83 now. So probably be more by the time you see this, or less, or whatever it is, because it'll be near Christmas. So yeah, it was a mixed day, obviously, then today, when you think about it. Well, today I did manage to walk to the bridge, but I didn't do the sweeping. But I did play Stardew Valley, which I hadn't played in a long time. I'm going to try to do the JoJo route, because I don't remember JoJo route. I don't think I've ever done that. Let's see what else. My IBS was, and the vape helped a tiny bit, but like I've been saying, it seems to only work some of the time. Like, I think it just depends on how bad the IBS is and the anxiety is. Like, I have no idea. Like, it just makes me so confused. But I also did have a bath. I remember I had a bath today, and it was nice. It was actually really good for my stomach, actually, the warm heat. So, for the 1st of December, wasn't very eventful, but hopefully that will change. Well, today was another kind of mixed day. I had a bit of a flare-up and didn't do very much. I did manage to do the sweeping, though, and I played a bit of Stardew Valley again. But today also, I watched Jack Duck Deuce's 200 Days of Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, which is part 2 of his series, and it was really good, but it looks like he's going to have to go for a part 3 to complete everything. We'll just say I wasn't feeling so good tonight. I still am not feeling the greatest tonight. So let's hope tomorrow is a better day. Well, today was not a very good day at all. I was miserable. I didn't even do the collab today again, and I just feel downright rotten about it. I didn't go for a walk today because I was feeling, but also when you think about it, like you'll see a clip, the weather was absolutely awful out, snowing like crazy, really cold out. I just couldn't do any walking in that. But I did manage to do the sweeping as much as I could. My aunt was building some type of table. Maybe I'll send a picture of a table too. But I did make some progress in Persona 4 Golden. I'm on September 4th, I believe. I made it through some funny story bits, which was somewhat of the highlight of my day with the day I was having. But I'm just slowly but surely getting back into playing it when I'm feeling okay. And even today, it was a bit of a struggle playing it at first. I played a bit of Stardew Valley and made a teeny bit of progress, but it's not really a main goal of mine. It's just kind of a comfort game like The Sims 4 is, so there's that. Also, I gained a subscriber. I'm now 269 subscribers strong, so close to 270. So maybe by the end of this year, or maybe in the middle of next year, I don't know when I'll get it, but we're getting there, folks. Well, today was a mixed day. I didn't get out for a walk again. The weather is still pretty bad, but I did end up doing the sweeping. But I did manage to finish reading the Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. I really enjoyed it. I find that I don't think I've ever read that book when I was a child, and it's probably now one of my favorites. I don't know why, but I just kind of just like the characters all right and the idea all right. Played a bit of Stardew Valley. That happened too, but as I said, I wasn't feeling the greatest, so I didn't get a whole lot done today, but I'm just so proud about finishing that book. I just wish I would feel like reading every day like that, but it is what it is. Well, today was sort of a midday again. Wasn't feeling so great in the morning. I mean, again, the weather is so cold, I couldn't walk at least outside anyway. But like always, I did the sweeping. I actually finished, my sections I had so far of week 2 of Life Monthly Month 2. And there's 2 videos I published, which were the Monster Energy Ultra Zero Tasting and Yu-Gi-Oh! Number 92. So I hope you enjoy it, but I figured for Friday I would do something a little bit different. Played quite a bit of Stardew Valley, but there's really nothing different about that or the sweeping, really. But I am using a lot of mods. I'm just playing the game to enjoy it. So I have quite a bit of money, and I'm making quite a lot of progress early on. But again, I was playing the game to enjoy it, to relax, not to heavy grind, if you know what I mean. Yeah, while I was awake, the day wasn't so bad. It was mostly when I was trying to lay down that my stomach was upset, so maybe I'm learning something about that. Well, today wasn't actually the worst day. I did the sweeping. My IBS, on and off. It wasn't the worst. I actually did a little bit more organizing that I didn't realize that I forgot to do when I was doing that on a hauling video. That blue storage, kind of basket, that tall thing. There was a lot more in it than I thought. I thought it was empty enough because some of my clothes were in there. But I ended up going through there and getting rid of a couple things, not very much of note, really. But I did find my, the complete Art of Lynn Johnson book that I knew I had, and I just put away where I could find it. But one of the fun things that I did today was I was making little cards, right? Because I found another hanging thing that I could put cue cards and different things in it. And I made several ones like with the labeler, like for the words, and I drew pictures, and it was like different activities that I could do for the day and like what time of the day and what weather. Right. It was really fun. I did it for at least about an hour or two anyway, just sitting there printing off the labels. Some of them I did, and some of them I just wrote the labels. Like I put the days of the week. And I'm not saying that I'm going to have to follow it exactly, but they give me ideas without overwhelming me that I can do. And I usually put the things that I do in it. So based on how I feel, which maybe tomorrow I might have to do a few more that I just forgot about. But now that I think about it, but yeah, it was actually a really fun activity to do, and I actually didn't have that much stress doing it for the most part, so that was pretty cool. Besides that, I really didn't do much of anything else besides just scrolling YouTube today. But at least today was a different day than what I usually do. Well, today wasn't the worst day. I actually lost a pound. I'm 127 now. I did the sweeping. I also helped Kathy carry this bench upstairs. And oh, that was probably the worst thing. Both Kathy and I we hated it. Right? The first time we ever 100% agreed on anything like that, that it was awful, right? But she appreciated my help, which, I mean, it's the first time she always does appreciate it, but the first time that I actually was a help to her when it comes to that. I always kind of struggled a lot, and we both did. On both of our ends, we both struggled and agreed that it was like one of the worst things we've ever did. And as soon as I saw that other bed she built, like, please tell me we don't have to take that upstairs. Like, we both said, no, thank God we don't. Like, we both cut out a laugh on that. Like, you know, it's like when you go through something and you're like, please don't tell me you have to do that again. Like, it was one of those scenarios. At least not anytime soon. Right? But it's something that my aunt and I will probably look back on and laugh that we both had just as miserable of a time doing it. I mean, I want to bond with her, but that's not exactly my idea of bonding. Right? But there was not much else new today, but I did watch Antonia the Sheep's top 20 obscure PSAs, and it was very, very interesting, right? I mean, they're called obscure for a reason, but there was one particular one that was there. I forget what the name of it was, but it was about Sue. I think that's what it was called, was Sue, and it was about a mother and a daughter. Like obviously at the Sue, it didn't show them, right? But you could tell. I think it was a little girl and a mother. She said, "Oh, look, Mom, this elephant's doing a cute dance." This wasn't the first thing it said, but it was just one of the many. Said, "Oh no, he's just gone mentally insane from being lonely and being in captivity." And I'm like, "Madam, your little girl is just trying to enjoy herself. Stop destroying her whimsy." Like, that was the point of the PSA. Like, I think the point is to say that captivities and zoos aren't, I guess, always the greatest places for animals, maybe. But still, I mean, buzzkill much, right? And, like, every time the daughter would get innocently excited about something an animal was doing, the mother would tell her the cold, hard facts of reality. I'm like, lady, this isn't the time or the place or the age for to hear this stuff. I could understand if there was like two adults there, right? With both with good mental capabilities, and then they have a discussion like that, okay? And I know it's a PSA. Like, it's supposed to teach a lesson, but it was something that was kind of funny, actually. It's like every time the little girl would have an excited moment, buzzkill mom would tell her the cold hard facts. Like, that was the one that stuck out to me the most, the PSA, because I could easily make a reaction and a commentary on that PSA alone, like, of everything wrong with it. Now, again, the message is, you know, it's in the right place, right? The heart is in the right place, but the execution, the way they presented that message, made it so horribly funny, right? Because it's pretty much just a little girl getting her trip to the zoo ruined, pretty much. That is the way I see it. I would, like, imagine if I, as a child, I was playing Pokemon, I'd be, look, Mommy, they're having fun. They're earning money. He said, no, honey, this is the equivalent of dog fighting. Yeah, Mom, no, that wouldn't be what I would want to hear as a child. Like, I mean, okay, I don't really think it is the equivalent of dog fighting, but just how some adults see it. Like in real life, that's illegal. And okay, yeah, it is, and I'm glad it is. But it's... Sorry this was a little bit long, but I just had to say something about that PSA. Like, message is great. Give animals more space. Have a sanctuary where they could be looked after properly, right? But it just ruined its message by making it look like the poor girl's getting put down every single time she's having fun. You would completely forget the message, if you know what I mean. Well, today was a so-so day. I started off having a rough start in the morning with my stomach, but I eventually did go back to sleep and felt a little bit better. I didn't do very much. I don't think I even did the sweeping today, but I did read about 15 pages of The Complete Peanuts 1959 to 1960, which it was a while since I read any in that category, so that's better than nothing. And I actually started a new file on Animal Crossing New Leaf. I actually haven't beaten it yet in one of those videos, you know, quest logs, book logs, and I wanted another relaxing handheld. I wanted a handheld relaxing game, so that'll be it for me for a bit. I am about 75%, you know, rating when it comes to getting my permit, so I'm getting close, but it's always just seems just a little bit close and not, so it's kind of like I'm stuck there a little bit. But as I said, like, it was more just random day, me resting and everything. So I did eat quite a bit, though, with a bunch of Lay's and a pizza Lunchable, which I'm probably going to regret tomorrow. But I enjoyed my day once I got over the initial rough patch of it. So then that's great. Well, today was actually a pretty good day. It started off very rough. I had to take a Gravel, a Puff, and 2 Tylenol. And I originally had a trip planned, you know, to Value Village. I almost had to cancel that, but in the end, I'm like, no, gosh darn it, I'm not letting it ruin my day. So I went and told my aunt that I'm willing to go. I actually helped her shovel out the driveway, which was a first for me. It actually was a lot better than moving that darn bench up the stairs. But we got there, and I got some stuff which I will show you a little without showing you the actual stuff, because it's part of my Christmas, and I'm going to show them in this video. I went and got a Baconator from Wendy's and fries, and I got a medium ice cap. I actually gained 2 subscribers. I'm now 271. Again, I don't know if that's going to last when this video is out. Could be more, could be less, but it was amazing. Like, I just couldn't get over it. But another thing I really enjoyed is I was playing Animal Crossing New Leaf again. I finally got to the island where I could hunt for bugs, which surprisingly wasn't as hard as it was the last time I did it. I think I missed, like, I went 2 trips in that day, and I only missed about 3 or 4 times. Maybe only 3 times, and one I had a double whammy, right? But I've learned that if I sneak up quietly just before the shadow in the palm tree and you release the A button, I seem to catch it. Like, if I get to the point where I'm in the shadow of it, then the bugs usually go away. But if it's just before the shadow outside the tree, I seem to do okay. And I also got to remember to cut down a lot of them. It's easier for me to do that than it is to darn fish for sharks. I have to actively listen to the splash, and even if I heard the splash, I might time the button wrong. But But then I think I've only missed once or twice with them too. So I'm doing pretty good. Like, I got over 600,000 bells for those 2 trips that day. So I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to make little goals for my end game because there's no real end game in New Leaf, where at least with New Horizons, you recruited, for your KK slider for your island. Great. They even have credits. But I'm deciding on my plans, and maybe I'll figure it out later. But yeah, today was still a pretty good day. Well, today was a okay day. I actually walked, up and down the street about 4 times. Yeah, it might seem kind of silly, but with how the weather is, that is still movement in a way, and I was actually able to get out and do that. And my new boots that I got work great. I didn't do very much else. The sweeping as usual, I did. But I played a lot of Animal Crossing New Leaf. Yeah, I had a fantastic time. Kind of got a little addicted to it. But I actually got the crown. Yeah, forget the other priorities of my town. I'm a queen. Okay, guys, look, I swear I'm not a dictator. I ended up putting money towards the fountain in the end. So, but it's still, the funniest story happened during this whole, sorry for the hair, for this whole crown situation. Well, the crown was 1,440,000 bells. But before, I misjudged it by about 40,000 in a way. So I worked so hard going on that island, getting all the bugs and the money, removing all the items from my backpack to get the bells into it. Go there to find I'm 24 grand short. You should have. I think that was the closest I've ever wanted to hit my head against the wall. It was so funny. I went back, and since I paid 1,000 for a trip, I filled up again, so I would have that extra money anyway. Might as well not waste it for just 2 or 3 beetles, which would have been enough. But yeah, it felt so good in the end, still getting that crown. Yeah, I know, a little, dictatorish, a little, I'm a bad bear. I swear, if the town could have pitchforks, I'm sure they would be again. I committed towards the town project as well when I had that extra money. But that was like the cream of the crop, I think. I swear, if something worse comes up, I'm done. I don't care if they have a matching suit with it. That crown is it, and it's staying on my character's head. Because it took so long just to earn it. I could have paid my house loan twice over with that. Which, again, I need money for. But I decided to commit to the town project to make up for my frivolous spending on the crown. So, yeah, today was a pretty good day. Also, I ordered a couple of things. I don't know if I mentioned it yesterday. But I'm not mentioning what because it's for Christmas. And I ordered 3 things and 2 of them shipped. So that's awesome. So again, today was pretty good. Well, today was a mixed day. It started off not so good because my anxiety bracelet broke. I woke up, couldn't find it, and there was beads everywhere. I was devastated, but you know what? Thank heavens my aunt pulled through. Because she actually bought a few before for Christmas and decided to let me have it. She knew how upset I was. So she said, you could have one, and I'm going to be more careful from now on. And my aunt also found me this. What is this? This is what I'm going to put on at night when I go to bed. Because it's not exactly the same, but having something on my arm will help, and it'll prevent this from getting caught or breaking. like the other one did. So, yeah, I got a little bit better after that. I walked up and down the street about 5 times this time. I'm trying to do little things like staying close to home, especially during the winter and all of that. And I don't even have my music and that on. I just walk up and down the street that way. I played a bit of Animal Crossing New Leaf. Not as much progress as last time, but it is what it is, right? I paid off my one house loan and work project, just started a bench. Also, besides the sweeping, I actually edited and scheduled a new review for the game Unpacking. So tomorrow I'm going to be uploading that for you guys, just to have something a little bit different on the channel, because yeah, it was a while since I did anything else, and I thought this Friday I'll have a review. So yeah, I also put away the dishes from the dishwasher, so today was a pretty eventful day. Well, today actually wasn't too bad of a day. I didn't do that much. I did walk up down the street again and the sweeping. I made a little bit of progress in Animal Crossing New Leaf. I literally got the funds, like I did in House Expansion, and I got the Dream Suite, project funded. So I'm making town projects, I'm doing pretty good with them. But I did edit, most of the footage that I have for week 3 of Life Monthly number 2. So I did pretty good there. I also scheduled my White Pineapple Monster Energy trying as well. I'm trying to catch up on some of those videos that I hadn't edited. I know that one's going to be a very interesting one to watch because I had to post-narrate it because something went wrong with my microphone. That sucks, but it is what it is. But yeah, as I said, I did quite a bit of YouTube stuff today, which was the biggest thing besides me playing more Animal Crossing, but I've been doing that the last several days as well. But I try to get a little bit of footage here and there if I find something interesting, like include it there, because I've been having just so much fun with this game. It is starting to wear off, I think, but I still have goals to work towards, so I just have to do it a little bit at a time. But yeah, so today was still pretty uneventful, but that was kind of good because my IBS wasn't that awful. So that's a win there. Well, today was actually a pretty good day. I started by waking up and deciding I'm not eating yet, and I actually read 4 chapters of The Castle of Lear, the 3rd book in the Chronicles of Prydain series. I went from starting chapter 6, and I finished at chapter 10, so I went 6, 7, 8, and 9. So 4 chapters. I never read it since September, so I made some decent progress. I listened to it, but I absorbed everything. And for me, listening to it being read is almost like listening to an audiobook. So I can understand and take in things more that way. But the fact that I said, okay, try to read one, right? That was my goal because I wasn't feeling the greatest, but it was a while since I read it. I wanted to read a bit. So even like 1 chapter is better than not reading it at all. And then after 1 chapter, I'm like, well, maybe I could do 1 more. And it happened up until chapter 10. I'm like, okay, I should stop because the next few chapters are going to be somewhat longer. So I read 4 good chapters, which I guess was 29 pages, which again, I could have read an extra page on my own, but then the next chapter would be a little confusing. I'd rather just evenly stop at those chapters. So for me, 29 pages of a book like that is pretty good. So I considered that a win. I played quite a bit of Animal Crossing New Leaf and made some progress. I got Club SOS, or LOL, I meant, all signed for. So he's going to build that himself. I paid for a clock. a town clock. I got a basement and upgraded it once, so I'm doing good there. Still waiting on the museum upgrade, but apparently I have to talk to Blathers, which I mean, a guest goes and asks him to do things at least for 14 days since it's open, so I'm probably doing that until like the toy day on it anyway, before he even brings up the idea of an update, because I got every other, qualification done. Like, I got at least 20 things donated, probably more. I got one of each category donated. I just need to finish talking to him, apparently, according to what it says on there. I did 2 walks today. I walked up and down the street 5 times, and I walked to Tim Hortons for a large iced coffee. It was so long since I've walked to Tim Hortons and got something, from there. I didn't get any footage because I forgot, but I was just so excited that I actually got there. I was craving a nice coffee, and I got it. I did record a tasting video for a bologna Lunchable, a retry. You'll see that some point when I edit it and upload, but it was exciting that I did that. Also, one of the 3 things I ordered came in the mail. Now, I'm just showing you the package. I'm not, showing you what it is. I'm surprising you for Christmas this time around. I try my best to blur out the other stuff, but you probably did see 1 or 2 things, so oops. But it is what it is. I'm still waiting on 1 thing to ship. 2 of the 3 had already shipped. So let's just hope everything works out in the end. But again, all in all, today was a really good day. Well, today was a pretty good day. I played quite a bit of Animal Crossing New Leaf. It made some progress. I paid off the loan. Like, I finally got the museum upgrade. I guess I talked to the Darnell enough. But it was also the winter solstice in the game, and I really enjoyed playing that. I also started doing editing overall for Life Monthly number 2. I got the first 2 weeks edited in, so that's awesome. Hopefully soon I'll be able to get this week edited in, and then just 1 more week to go. So today was more or less, like I walked, but there was more or less kind of an easier, slower day, if you know what I mean. I watched a lot of brew videos, the ones that tell stories and animate the stories. I forget which ones they were. Like, it was one about, a guy dying in the deep blue hole or something like that. I can't really remember. Maybe I could get this is a problem for future jazz, if you know what I mean. But besides that, today was a good day, but uneventful, which again is still pretty good. I also did the sweeping, and I forgot to tell you, I lost a pound. I'm 126, so I'm doing very, very well. Well, today was a pretty good day. I actually did some shoveling for my aunt and got $2 because I couldn't finish it all, but I did a good enough job for her to pay me a bit of money. There was another reason that I did it too. Yesterday, a package was supposed to be out for delivery, but it didn't make it. Today, it did. I'm not showing you what it is. I'll show you the package in some footage, but it's a surprise for Christmas like that other one was. I played quite a bit of Animal Crossing New Leaf. I did enough to get 1,200,000 bells because I have to pay off my second floor in a way. The second, I have 2, I have the one that I've gotten and then 2 other floors plus a basement. And I'm working on paying off that loan for that one to upgrade that a little bit. The basement's fully, sized up. So this is technically my 4th floor if you count the basement. So I'm doing pretty good, but the money is getting steep. So I really just have to worry. That's one of my goals, is to fully upgrade the house. So I'm working towards it. Also, I am very close, I think, to getting Brewster. I think I have all the donations required. I just need to wait about a game week for him to bring up that idea for that project, because I had the first upgrade. So they say 7 days from that, plus 50 donations, which I think I'm set when it comes to the donations. I checked and it looked like I checked without even the fossils, and it looked pretty high up. So I think I'm past that, but hopefully it better be past than being under, right? What else today? Eric the Electric, I watched quite a few of his Christmas videos while playing Animal Crossing New Leaf. I just find them fascinating. Yes, they're older videos, but they're good background videos, honestly. So, and I did the sweeping. So, not much else was new there. But today was actually a really good day. Well, today wasn't the greatest day. I mean, it started off not as bad. I did a lot of shoveling and I got $5, which was good. I played and enjoyed some Animal Crossing New Leaf, and I played as Santa, which I did absolutely terrible at because I got all the gifts wrong. I guess it's important to pay attention to what your villagers are saying about Toy Day. Oops. But anyway, how I sit, and I didn't do much of a walk because I did the shoveling, but I did the sweeping. But one bad thing is I was sick a lot of the day. I had, we'll just say, a bad flare-up for the first time in a long time. But hopefully, like as I said, it only will go up from here. I'm doing a little bit better at this moment. So at least there is that. Also, though, the one really good thing to top off the whole day is that my final thing that I ordered came in the mail today. Again, like the other two things, it's a secret. It's for Christmas. But I'm so happy that they've all come in safe and sound. So that's a blessing above anything, right? Yes, I had a bad moment. But I believe, as Sarita from Animal Crossing New Leaf said, bad moments are just moments that are bad, or bad times are just times that are bad. So that's what I have to think about it, not think about it as, oh, this is horrible. I just have to think, okay, I'm going for a rough moment, but I had a lot of good moments this week for the most part. So I'm just going to be thankful for those moments. So yes, today wasn't the greatest day, but it came with a lot of wins as well, so I gotta remind myself that. Well, today was actually a pretty good day. I got a lot of exercise today. I walked up and down the street. I walked to Tim Hortons for a large iced coffee. I really enjoyed the coffee, but I tried to get internet down there on my 3DS. Didn't work, I guess, because for some reason my 3DS will not go to the page where it would accept the, like you have to accept it, terms and that. Oh well, everything else hooked up all right, but at least it was a nice walk. I walked to the post office to deliver a Christmas card for my cousin that my aunt wanted me to mail. Actually, we had both Bandit and Buddy here today, separate times. Couldn't get much footage of Bandit, but I got some there. You'll see it there of Buddy dressed in this cutest little onesie, a Peanuts onesie. And oh, he was just so cute. I played quite a bit of Animal Crossing New Leaf, made a little bit of progress. I'm slow. I got a couple of silver tools, a silver rod and a silver shovel. I was going and getting some cards for my, my video editing. Like I always show it picture side on it now for at least the Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh! And Magic the Gathering. Anyway, it's kind of harder for the sports ones. But I was looking at getting all that footage, all those cards ready so I could put the videos together in a timely manner. So that was awesome too. But again, the highlight of my day was that video with Buddy. It was just so cute. Well, today wasn't exactly the greatest day. I was not feeling good, both IBS-wise and my allergies. I actually had to take an allergy pill today, and I made some regretful choices. I took the allergy pill, planning to go to sleep. Then I had my last Lunchable, my bologna Lunchable. And I said, okay, I could just wait a certain amount of time, and then go to sleep. Then I was hungry shortly after, so I had the 2 buns because my aunt had brought some food home from her gathering, and I didn't want to be totally wasteful. So I had like a ham on one, turkey on the other, and then I kind of by 2:30, I couldn't stay awake any longer. Then I woke up with a slightly worse IBS flare-up. But to backtrack, I did walk both of those times after I ate, which was actually very close together. So that was pretty good. I did 4 on one walk and 5 on the other with the bigger meal. So I did do something smart that way. I had a bit of help with my digestion, but that still wasn't quite enough to kind of spare me from me sleeping a little bit too soon after the buns. But if anything, I did 2 walks. I did the sweeping. I got the garbage out. So there's that. And I was getting the clips for this week's, section of Life Monthly. So that is awesome too. So, and of course, a lot of Animal Crossing, but not as much as there was. I'm slowing down on it drastically, but I am making some serious progress, I think. So yeah, today wasn't, we'll say, the worst day. I've had really bad days, as you've seen earlier, but being productive, not as much. Well, today was actually a pretty good day. I actually made a decent amount of progress in Animal Crossing New Leaf. We found Joan, the turnip seller, which I'm not going to participate in because of my frequent time travel. I'd rather not risk the turnips anyway, and I make money good anyway, but I thought I would still show you that she showed up and I saw her. Also, I finally got to the point where I can get Brewsters. I did pay the money, and maybe tomorrow I'll work on some other things. I'm getting close. I think I've gotten quite a few town, projects done. I'm pretty close to that goal as well. Probably past it, but I might do 1 or 2 more. Anyway, I also just put in the last request to upgrade, I think, the second to last room. Then I got 1 more room to fully do. I mean, I could be wrong, but it didn't show many other options left, so I'm doing really good with that. Sad to say that I'm actually nearly done with the game with my goals there. So, but it's still, I did a lot, and it still felt awesome. I actually also recorded quite a few card openings. I think in total, I recorded about 9 card openings. I did 2 Magic the Gathering, 2 Yu-Gi-Oh!, 2 Disney Lorcana, and 3 Pokemon. You're like, 3 Pokemon? Like, I was opening some of those premium press cards, so I just decided just to do 3 of them, like 2 per. And that was really fun to do. It was so long since I've actually recorded the card openings, so it was kind of a treat. I also started my, editing of week 4, the final week of month 2. So I got the first 4 days. It's 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th day, like in. So I just have a few more days to record for this new Life Monthly to be ready to be out for you guys. And I'm excited about that. I enjoyed a nice can of Pepsi. It was a full can, so it was a bit much, but it is what it is. And I had a nice bath. Like, I needed that bath. I'm going to have another one on Tuesday before, Christmas Eve, so I'll be ready for that. So, besides the walking and the sweeping, as I said, I did nothing else besides what I mentioned there. But today was a good day. Today was a pretty good day. Despite how I was feeling earlier, I managed to get to the dollar store and I got some stuff for my stocking. But I'm not showing you that stuff, and I did forget to get footage, so I apologize. But we also went to Superstore, and my aunt actually got me a $50 Nintendo eShop gift card for Christmas. And wow. I mean, I know I probably shouldn't be, telling you that and showing you in my haul, but I'm going to be showing you what I get with it in the video rather than not showing you the card first. Like, that was like the highlight of my day. She already spoiled me a lot, like with the 2DS and everything else. And on top of it, she gets me that. Like, that was a really good day, especially that I actually got out of my comfort zone and got myself to go. Because I'm realizing that maybe I won't always be rewarded, if I do something or even rewarded big. But I'm more likely to get something if I do something than if I don't. I have to kind of reframe that to myself to try to make it easier for me to push myself a little bit more. I played quite a bit of Animal Crossing New Leaf. We did the thing for the cafe, where we're celebration for the cafe, where we meet Brewster. And I also get to go I got my hair done, right, at the new hair salon. So that was kind of cool too. I'm getting so close to my goals, finishing them all off, which is again bittersweet. But hey, it is what it is. I walked, up and down the street. I did the sweeping. We got our Christmas tree up. We didn't get it decorated yet, but it is what it is. It's a start. So all in all, today was an absolutely awesome day. Well, today was a so-so day. To start off with, I gained 2 pounds. I'm 128, but you know what? That isn't the worst thing in the world, honestly. My aunt and uncle actually came down with the Christmas stuff a little early because, they say there are things going on without going into anything, and they did it just in case they can't get down to the family gathering, this year. But they also brought me an iced coffee and my aunt a coffee, so that was awesome. I played some Animal Crossing New Leaf. I'm making some progress, guys. I'm on New Year's of, on the game because of the time traveling, obviously. Wouldn't be like that if I was playing it real time. I'm on the last room in the house, and I think I'm on the second expansion of the 3. So I'm doing pretty good there. I originally planned to sort of add the last store upgrade for Timmy, the one after Super, TNT, but I decided that is just, I can do it eventually, but I'm not including that as an end game goal after all, because I need to donate like about 800,000 more bells, at least 850, because I got some stuff yesterday, but I'm in the 800,000s, and really that's not very plausible with the amount that we bought, that you can buy there. So I decided to be fair and play it every now and then, or I might still do a little bit daily just to buy the stuff and not do all the stuff that I've been doing, right? or I'll check in now and then. But once I finish the last house upgrade and maybe 1 or 2 more town projects, I think I'm going to call it done for me. And that's all right. I did a lot more. I guess I'm in the 8 to 12% of people with everything that I've done in the game. So I feel really pleased about that. I also got a blue flower of some sort. I forget what it was. Maybe a tulip I really don't remember what it is, but it was a blue flower. What else? Again, they were celebrating New Year's. I got a couple cool hats from Red. But we'll just say after that, like, I did the walking and the sweeping, but my IBS was acting up a little bit and it wasn't very good. But you know what? Today could have gone a lot worse. Well, today was a really good day, actually. I did some things that I haven't done in a while. Well, one thing I hadn't done in a while, and one thing I'd done recently but not often. The thing I hadn't done in a while was I finally played some Pokemon Legends ZA. After, like, the last time I played it was early March, I believe, and it's now December 22nd. But I'm trying a new method where I do one thing. At the start by having one goal, right? Like, my one goal was to beat Rogue Mega Frostlass. So once I beat Rogue Mega Frostlass, if I was still feeling okay, I'll be like, okay, well, my next goal is to go for Rogue Mega Altaria. And I did that. And then I said, well, I'm going to try to do one battle royale to see if I can get some points to get the challenger ticket for a win. I have to go against Justice Sadid. It's hard to pronounce her name, but the go to rank B, that challenge, right? And I actually managed to get the points required for it too. Guys, that is where I stopped, because that was 2 goals past the original 1 goal. But the point of this method was to try one thing, and then if I feel better, only do the next thing, and then reassess how you are. And that seemed to work. It also worked from when I was reading the Castle of Lair. I read 3 more chapters. I'm on chapter 13 now, and I read about 28 pages. I did the same thing as that. I did 1 chapter and said, well, okay, I'll do another chapter. And then I did a 3rd. I also decorated some of the Christmas tree. I think I did about a lot of the bottom and a lot of the middle. The rest was left for my aunt, but I figured I was better doing it on my own because I'd actually get up and do it rather than sit there watching my aunt do it and then putting one on. Like, I figured I would try it that way, and it worked. Also, on exciting news, but I'm not fully revealing it to you, I, bought a couple of things, games, right? I'm not allowed to use them till Christmas, but my aunt gave me the card and said, let's get it over with now. So you'll see that in my Christmas haul, what I got. But remember, I use the word quote. So you'll know maybe it's not completely games, but yeah, today was a really good day. And tomorrow is Christmas Eve. But again, that's for another section. Well, today wasn't the best day. Both my IBS and allergies were acting up pretty bad, and I didn't really do a lot. I mean, I did do some shoveling and earned about $3, and I did the sweeping and walked up and down the street about 4 times. And I am pretty sure I'm close to done of what I'm doing in Animal Crossing New Leaf. I got full house upgrade today. And as I said, the upgrades to the store may not have been as, amount of money as I thought. It only you had to wait several days after 50 grand and then 100 grand. And, it's still a lot. And doing things like spending days where I wouldn't have much to do differently. So I said, you know what? I'm happy where I am. I did make a flower arch, or paid off a flower arch which is cool. And I'm pretty much done with the projects that I want to do as well. But yeah, it's Christmas Eve. I just hope tomorrow is a better day than today was, because I really want to get down to my cousins for Christmas Eve. I haven't seen them in the last, I don't really know how long. I know I was there last Christmas, but the last few gatherings, I wasn't there at all. But I got to tell myself that as long as I try my best tomorrow and I can't make it, then I should just say, well, I just couldn't do it. But as long as I don't write it off as soon as I get up or too prematurely, then at least I've tried my best. But yeah, I still can't believe tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Like, this year has gone really, really fast, guys. Maybe it's because I've been doing these vlogs. I don't know. Well, guys, we're at the end of another Life Monthly. A lot has happened this month. Maybe not as pack-filled as the first one, but I've been taking the vape, and it's been helping me on and off, just depending on the situations. I'm starting to learn a little bit about myself. Obviously, we end this, month at a weight of 128. It was 126, and I don't know how next month where I'm going to be there. But it's so funny how I've been reflecting a lot more, this month on myself. I've been learning certain things that help me, like mindsets, and walking and moving seems to help me with my cramps a lot as well. I've done a lot. I've technically beaten the game with Animal Crossing New Leaf. I got where I was satisfied with it. I've actually read more of The Castle of Lear, which is awesome. I'm starting to kind of learn the whole do one thing first, do the first goal, and then reevaluate. That seems to help me a little bit, to at least do something, if you know what I mean. So, again, I can't believe the second month of this new series is done already. And the next one is going to start with Christmas Eve. So, I'm going to try to get this out just before my Christmas video. That way I can have them both within the last, they're going to be closer together this time around, because I want to have these two videos in 2025. So, and those will probably be the last videos of 2025. In 2026, I don't know where I'm going to go with this series, but with this series, with my channel, maybe I might make an update or something later. I don't know. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel, like what you see, please subscribe. It helps this channel a lot. And don't forget to hit the bell notification so you know when new videos are coming out. And I'll see you guys in my next video.